Welcome back, fans and foes. We're here with more updates and gossip inside and outside the octagon. MMA and its fighters keep us entertained. From questionable funding sources to unexpected meetings. Recently, Bisping and Smith discussed Usman's daring call-out. Meanwhile, fans aren't impressed with Dana White's power slap too. Also, what is Volkanovski predicting for Izzy and Pereira? Hang around as we give a complete breakdown of all these updates. Bisping and Smith on Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman and Khamzat Chimaev may fight on the Abu Dhabi pay-per-view in October. However, Anthony Smith believes Usman will have difficulty matching Chimaev's fighting style. Here's what Smith and Bisping said on the Believe You Me podcast.
It's a bold move for sure, which it says a lot about where he is mentally, because I think a lot of people were kind of writing him off just a little bit and saying, oh, he's done. He's probably just going to kind of fade off into retirement. But him wanting to fight Khamzat is the total opposite of that. It's a tough fight, I think, for Kamaru. If I'm just being very honest and fair with my analysis, I think what he does well kind of fits right into Khamzat's game. I think maybe a younger, maybe less beat up Kamaru. I think that fight's a little bit different. He's not as much of a wrestler as he used to be. He used to chase the takedown just relentlessly. I don't think that he's even has the capability to really do that anymore, just with his knees and some of that stuff.
However, the fight isn't finalized yet, so fans must wait for an official announcement before giving a verdict. But comment below who you think will dominate in the octagon. Fighters questioning PFL's funding sources. With Ngannou's shiny new contract paying his opponents and high-paying deals like Jake Paul's, PFL is under the limelight. Matt Brown and Henry Cejudo shared their concerns over the neighboring promotion's excessive spending. Cejudo said,
"Man, where the hell is PFL getting all this money? I mean, signing Jake Paul, signing him, $1 million tournaments. I know Kayla Harrison's making crazy money as a female, the most other than Ronda Rousey, and maybe even more so than Ronda Rousey, the most paid women's athlete of all time."
He wasn't done here. He also talked about Ngannou's contract.
Is this the start of the collaboration of Bellator versus UFC, PFL versus the UFC? One championship versus Bellator. I mean, are we opening up new doors that have never truly been opened? Is Bellator, PFL, one championship, even if the UFC doesn't get involved, are they willing to kind of cross that road? You see, there's a lot of questions to be answered or to be asked.
Matt Brown asked similar questions. He talked about PFL wanting to go big or go home. Brown thinks that PFL is tired of sitting on the sidelines while the UFC makes all the money. That's why they were bending over backward to sign Ngannou. Meanwhile, he took advantage of that and signed on his own terms. Brown respects Ngannou for his career and wishes him luck in the future. However, he also highlighted that things aren't looking well for PFL. But the most important questions everyone asks are, how did they get the money for this? Also, how did they convince the investors? Regardless of what happens to PFL's business deal, Ngannou will get his paycheck at the end of the day. And his lucky future opponent will also get $2 million, so that's a silver lining, according to Brown. So what do you guys think of PFL's risky move? Will they be the next combat sport daddy, or will UFC maintain its position? Tell us in the comments. Pereira versus Adesanya, but at the airport. Alex Pereira and Izzy Adesanya unexpectedly met at the airport, and they recorded the whole event. Here's the video. The comment section under this post was hilarious. One made a funny scenario commenting, "Izzy bought a ticket for first class, so Alex asked to sit in the cockpit. Unbelievable." Another believes Alex is the most dedicated opponent out there. One Twitter fan even wanted them to become friends at the end. Dana's power slap isn't impressive. Dana's Power Slap 2 came out this week, and fans' comments are more entertaining than the show. White posted a promotional video of a training fighter, and fans didn't hold back with their verbal slaps. Let's check the comments. One said, "This is a bad investment not only for the UFC, but for the future of children growing up watching this crap." Dana also posted some highlights, which even got worse feedback. One comment said, "I'm a huge fan of Dana White for what he's done with the UFC, but you need to understand that this is not something people will get behind long term. It could have success on social media for quality short-term content because of the shock value. But no one will ever become a diehard fan of a slap fighter. There's nothing really to idolize. Their families aren't proud of them for pursuing this as a career choice. How do you think parents would react to their kids saying they want to be a power slap world champion? There's nothing in the sport that makes the viewer look up to the quote-unquote athletes and become longtime fans of these athletes. Did you guys enjoy PS2? Maybe Dana should get more creative and make better quality content. Let us know what you think of it." Volkanovski predicts Pereira versus Adesanya. Alexander Volkanovski has an exciting prediction for our favorite fighting duo, Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya. In an interview on the MMA Fan Podcast, he said,
"And I think it will happen. I think it's just not something that's going to happen right away. So having the three fights back to back, obviously 3 fights back to back isn't always good. Like we've seen it before, but you don't really want them like that. So for them to do, if he was to go up, say win the light heavyweight title, and then they fight like for champ, obviously the fight could be absolutely massive. Whether that's what the UFC are trying to plan on doing, I don't know, because that would be pretty clever."
However, considering their story, that's a fight we would all tune into. Alright folks, that's all for today's gossip. We'll be back with more in another video. Until then, peace out.